are once again. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you're doing very well. As always, I'm your host, David Burrows. Thanks for joining me here on the show today. Two very exciting guests. Max Major from Cool 106.3 is going to talk to us about playing for charity. That's coming up at about 3:45. And our MP, Marilyn Gladu, will be joining us to talk about her new book. Very excited for that as well. But first, I want to say hello to you. So please take the time to say hello in the comments wherever you're watching from, as I'd like to say thank you to all of our friends who host us around the world, all the way from Australia, United States, and South Africa, and of course our friends in the United Kingdom. Thank you very much for wherever you are. Wherever you are? Sure you are. How are you? I've been having like a mind. You ever have one of those days where you just like try to spit it out, right? And all day I've been going like, I got to do the show later today. Am I going to even be able to talk, right? Do you ever have one of those days? I'm having one of those days today, so it could be a very interesting show. Please say hello in the comments. Let us know you're watching. Say happy Monday, whatever you want to say hello to, and we'll go to that right now, actually, and we'll say, there it is. My friend Danny Cacciamilio saying happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, Danny. Was good to get out with you there last week. We should do that again soon. Had some good, fun conversation. You, me, and Ryan. Actually could spell trouble, the three of us, right? Carl Freeman, also all the way from Oshawa. Hello, Carl. And from one ham radio operator to another, 73s. Thanks for being here. And for the rest of you who are maybe a little shy, don't be shy. Please say hello in the comments. It's been a good weekend. What went on this weekend? Did you get out much? You know, it's been interesting. You know, I've been out a few places around town and you know, for a couple of pints, you know, with my friends, and every place seems to be handling this COVID thing a little bit differently. It's very interesting. So I did have a conversation. Well, I didn't have a conversation. I listened to as part of a media call earlier today with Dr. Siddharth Ranade, and did I even put him in here? I didn't do it right. See, there's that self-producing again. Carl says 7-3. Rob Jenkins, I didn't know you watched. He's like, who's Max Major? Major Max? I don't know. You can come on too, Rob. Anyway, Rob Jenkins from Cool 106.3. If Rob, if you're still watching, I've always wondered when they made the switch from the former K106.3 to the Cool 106.3, how many times, like, did you have to put a Post-it note on the monitor to remind yourself to not say K anymore, right? That would mess me up. I would imagine you had to do that. So Dr. Siddharth Ranade, we did have a media call earlier today, which you can see on our Facebook page. It's about a 3-minute conversation with Dr. Siddharth Ranade. 401 cases to date since all of this started here in Lambton County. And, you know, often we talk about the cases that, what's that number? But we forget to talk about how many were recovered. So that's number is 359 recoveries. So that's important as well. And one of the things that I found interesting today that, what's this? Max has several sticky notes, right? Yeah, you don't need them, right, Rob? You don't need the sticky notes. And well, Carl says, got really strict here. We're now in the red. And this is one of the things that the doctor talked about today was we here in Lambton County, we're still in a green state or green mode, whatever that means. We're in the green. And one of his concerns is that just because we're in the green, people are tending to maybe think like, well, we're good, right? So we can go back to normal. And he wanted to remind everybody that that's not really the case. Just because we're in green around here doesn't mean that party, go back to the way it was before. We still got to be taking those cautions, following the guidelines and the protocols. And I get it. I haven't talked about COVID on the show in a little while because I think there's just so much talk about it. But I thought this time, once in a while, I'd throw it in there. But, you know, it's one of those things, again, where we're not out of this. We're far from it. Premier Doug Ford talked about the vaccine coming out, but likely not even going to be around until like close to summertime or March, something like that, right? So we don't want to get back to where we were. I don't think anybody wants that. But as Toronto has shown, it can happen again. And Premier Doug Ford has no qualms about saying, that's it, we're locking it down again. I would not want to be the medical officer or premier, or I wouldn't want to be any of those folks right now making all the decisions. So kudos to them for, I think, doing a great job. They did also announce that if the bill passes, that Dr. David Williams will once again be our chief medical officer. So, and there you got to give kudos to that guy, because he had an out. This guy had an out. He could have walked away. He could have said, nope, I'm done with this. See you later. Bye. And he said, no, I'll come back. So, you know, you got to kind of commend the guy for that as well. So follow the guidelines. And as I always like to say, get your accurate information. I still see so much, like everybody's a journalist now, right? Because of social media, but go to lambtonpublichealth.ca to get the accurate information about what's happening in your community. The city of Sarnia, their website as well, they have a full page dedicated to what's open, what's closed, what you can, when you cannot do. They're answering the phones. And the bottom line is this: social distancing is still a must. You must social distance. And if we don't follow these things, and Dr. Renedy talked about this, the numbers are creeping up a little bit. Like, we're surrounded right by this, and where we're at in Lambton County. And, you know, we got the water that way and we got the water that way. So they can only come in this way, right? So we're in a unique position here, but if we're not careful, as those numbers are creeping up. Anyway, you get the point. Social distance, follow the guidelines. I always like to talk about some other things in the community, of course, before we get started here. And I've been saying it every week because I want everybody to know my friend Domingos Fernandez, My Journey with MS. His book is now available on Amazon. Not just his journey with MS, but let me tell you, as a personal friend of mine for about 25 years, he's had quite a journey with just writing this book and getting it done. Not just financially, but there were lots of well, he's had lots of health challenges along the way, and he's still going. One of the most positive people I've ever met in my life, Dom Fernandez. Go to Amazon and look it up. My Journey with MS, now available, and proceeds from the book all going to the MS Society. So Dom's way of telling his story and giving back into our community as well. So way to go, Dom. Good for that. And turkey. Well, our friends over the United States, of course, they just celebrated Thanksgiving, right? And now the next turkey event coming up is Christmas. Yes, it's official. We can say Christmas as much as we want now because we're at that point. But a drive-through turkey dinner for at the Sarnia Golf and Curling Club, which is supporting our friends at Rebound. Read this, though. Oven-roasted turkey, garlic mashed potatoes, home-style stuffing, honey glazed carrots, yummy traditional gravy. See, I told you it was the day with the lips day. Traditional gravy, cranberry relish, and eggnog cheesecake. I've never even heard of eggnog cheesecake before. I'm going to order it just for the cheesecake. What about you guys? And what a great idea. You can get a hold of them. We're going to be posting all the links on how you can reach out to these folks to make your order for this Saturday. Jennifer, I'm buying dinner this week. I'm cooking. I should just order it and like put it out on plates. What do you think she'd fall for it? Probably not. Anyway, great to have the turkey dinner and a great way to support a local cause in here as well. Another great thing going on, we had them on here last week, was the Pathways fundraiser, the Secret Santa Reimagined 2020. As I've been saying all along, and many of us have been saying, COVID really has forced us to be creative, has it not? Everybody's being creative, and they're having their Secret Santa they normally have. You can still go online to the Pathways website and place your order for the Secret Santa Reimagined. Again, links for this all posted at the end of the show here today. I'm really excited about this one. My friends at Snapshot Photos booth reached out to me and said, David, we're looking for a sponsor for a day to offer free holiday photos to the community. So they told me all about it. I said, sure. So if you're watching this live, so tomorrow on November the 24th, head down to Snapshot's photo booth, which is the Uptown Market located in Lambton Mall. They're located the Old People's Jewelry. That's where you'll find them. There's a really cool racetrack next to them as well for small kids and big kids. But you can go in there from 9:30 till 9 p.m. at night, 9:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Free photo, all on me and the Video Show Network. We've taken care of it so that you can go in there with your families. Every person in the session will get a 4x6 photo. You'll also get a digital copy sent to your email or texted right to your phone. You got to check this thing out. It's a really cool mirror And you get a holiday frame with your photo, and you get a $2 off coupon for going back Wednesday through to the rest of the week for a North Pole experience. Santa Claus himself will be in your virtual photo. Very, very cool. My friends Dana and Chad, it's open today. It's their first day for the Uptown Market and Snapshot photo booths there as well. And again, all great reasons. Take the family down there. Take whoever you want. Tell your friends. Best part is it's free, right? I'm paying for it. All right, so happy to do that. And I want to say thanks to my friends at Snapshot Photo Booths. You can go online and find them on Facebook, etc. as well. And tell them I sent you. Say David said, right? All right, one more time to the comments before we get on to our friend Max Major, who's waiting patiently. Toronto and Peel is shut down. Yes, well, we get that, right? And that's unfortunate, but it's a perfect example, though, of how the government's not afraid to shut things down if they need be. And I remember how we all felt the first time. Here's a question. If they were to shut it all down, would we take them as seriously as we did the first time? We probably should, right? Food for thought. Maybe that's a whole other show. All right, my friend Max Major is ready to come on. How you doing, Max?
Dave, how's it going? I'm doing great.
I have to tell you, like, it's nice to see you virtual, but I don't see you forever. And then, like, I drive by you the other day and I see you walking around all the time with you and Julia there, who are expecting, right?
Yeah. We've been going for walks. Got to make sure to stay in shape. We actually just went to the hospital today for our 20-week ultrasound. So me and Preggers are doing well.
Me and Preggers. That's awesome. You're player 3, right?
So I'm one of the players. My player 3 in the
right.
in the game of life. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Congratulations
we don't know if
on that.
A boy or a girl yet. Thank you
don't
so
know?
much. Not yet. No.
Are you gonna find out?
Yeah. Apparently, we were supposed to find out today, but the baby was in breech position, so they couldn't get a good gander. So they can't 100% say with certainty what's going to happen. So
right. You want to be sure.
But it's going well. It's healthy, at least. We know that.
Well, that's all that matters. That's fantastic. Well, let's talk about playing a game of playing for charity. This is coming into your 5th year?
6th. This will be the 6th year.
Oh, it's the 6th year. Wow.
6th year. Yeah, we've been doing this for a bit.
Yeah. So tell the story of playing for charity, supporting St. Clair Child Youth Services. But can you kind of go back and tell the story as to how did this all get started? Who come up with this?
Well, originally my friend Daryl Heater came up with the idea of doing some kind of a charity stream on Twitch for charity. And we thought it'd be fun to raise money for children's charities, seeing as we're man-children playing video games for actual children. So the first year we partnered up with Noel's Gift. We've also partnered up with Big Brothers Big Sisters in the past, and we've been going pretty hard for St. Clair Child and Youth for a lot of years, and including this year as well. We settled on children's mental health being pretty important to us, and access to counseling for children around the clock, which is what St. Clair Child and Youth does. And if you're doing a marathon, a traditional marathon where you're running that huge distance and you're getting people's pledges, that's how you inspire people to spend money for your cause, is because you're doing this body-breaking thing that is very hard and takes training. So how do we do that with video games and make it impressive enough that someone would want to invest money in pledging you? Well, 24 hours straight. It doesn't matter what it is, even if you love doing it. Doing anything for 24 hours straight starts to suck after a while. It's hard.
At about what hour does it hit you, Max?
Okay. I think it really hits at 2 a.m. when you realize that you're only halfway through. And you have the whole night to go. You usually really burn out by around 5 a.m., 6 a.m. And you know what? Once they open the mall back up again in the morning, because you're trapped in there all night, when the mall walkers start coming through in the morning at like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., then you start to kind of wake up again because you have people around. But this year is going to be weirder because this is the first year that we've not been locked in the Lambton Mall. This year, because of obvious reasons, we're actually going to be doing this from my friend Daryl Heater's basement.
So I
new
guess so that'll be a bit of an adjustment if you're talking about, like, there's people around. So we kind of wake up, we pay more attention, right? Are you gonna do something to try to get through that part of it? Because you're usually just getting up at like what, 4 a.m. to go to work, right?
Well, yeah, no, it's going to be fun on Friday because, I usually do my morning show on Cool 106.3 from 5 a.m. until noon, and then I'm gonna try and squeeze in maybe like a little bit of sleep, and then 2 p.m. on Friday until 2 p.m. on Saturday, we're locked in the basement playing video games nonstop. And every year we always rope in different people. So I want to give a shout out to Bethany Teagues and Trevor Morris. They're going to be the two community people who are joining Peter and myself on the couch for this event. And,
well, we've got some pictures from previous players as well. You could almost have like a contest or a raffle as to who gets to be one of the players. It's become so popular.
Yeah, no, we always get people saying, how can they help out? And it's hard because to try and get more people than are physically on a couch, you have to find a way to do it either online or to have a big setup. And in the mall, we get like a 10 by 10 space, so it's really only good to make a small living room and 4 people. And it's basically just like a marathon and you're pledging. We last year, for the first time, had District Beta set up a virtual reality spot.
Right.
And that was able to get people involved on the spot there as well. But we've been slowly taking names throughout the years and just rotating through people. As long as we keep doing it, we'll keep cycling more people through. And like doing it in the mall has always been a blast, being stuck in there overnight, everything shuttered, only you and the cleaners, that makes it special when you're watching. This year, it's interesting. We thought we'd just lean into the crappiness of the whole thing. Because I want to make this known. Lambton Mall was still totally cool with having us this year. In fact, Lambton Mall wanted us. We just didn't think it was proper for us to do. My wife's pregnant, as we mentioned. Trevor Morris, the players, his wife works at the medically fragile. Like, you have to think about that stuff.
Yeah, well, who do we come in contact with, right?
And on top of that, any indoor public space, you have to wear masks. So we would have to wear masks for 24 hours while trying to talk in headsets. Well, it didn't work this year. We thought we'd lean into the crappiness and do it right out of the basement and make it as hilariously bad as possible. Thanks 2020 style. And but yeah, like, we still have a bunch of stuff that people are used to throughout the years, like a prize. We've got a big prize from Total Play down in the downtown flea market. So Total Play has donated a Nintendo Switch Lite, and every $10 that you donate to St. Clair Child and Youth during this Playing for Charity marathon will get you a ballot into a draw. So you could win a Nintendo Switch Lite by the time it's all said and done, which is a pretty big item.
100%. Now you've raised thousands of dollars over the you said 6 years that you've been doing this now, and a lot of that has come from traffic in the mall, right? Where people walk by and they just kind of throw money at you, sort of thing, or here's my 20 or 10 or 100 or whatever that looks like. Are you having any predictions on how that's going to affect your results this year? Because you won't have that traffic.
It's funny you bring that up. It'll be interesting to see exactly how much money comes in now that we don't have the foot traffic. To be honest, our biggest donations always come in online. People who are into the whole Twitch streaming thing, people who know the ins and outs of that, they save for this all year. They make this the charity. So over the years, we've actually been managing to get more online than we have in the mall. Because people in the mall, a lot of times, like, they'll throw in a toonie or a $5 or something when they see us playing. But the people who donate online typically donate in bulk. So I think a lot of the heavy lifting actually comes from people who donate online. So it'll be interesting to see. Our first year, we got over $2,000, and that was we've been building it slowly every year until the point where we got over 4,000 last year.
That's awesome.
So I'm not sure if we get over 2,000 this year, I'll be very happy with it. I'd love to shoot for 3,000. 4,000 last year was beyond our expectations. So hitting that again would be incredible. But yeah, just getting any money in the pockets of St. Clair Child and Youth, because, like, you were talking about COVID and the pandemic and such, and it's been hard on everybody this year. It's been a mental health dumpster fire. So making sure that kids have access to counselors and mental health support around the clock is very important to us, and it's a great service that they give the community. So that's why we go to bat for them every year.
I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised, Max, that I mean, just being involved in some live streaming events myself through 2020, people are realizing that if they want to participate or give, that's the way they got to do it. I'm going to call it right now. I think you're going to hit your 4,000 mark because you guys have built this up over so many years. You got the right people involved, and you know, Max, you and I have talked before. When you surround yourself with the right people, great things happen, right?
Well, I got to give a huge shout out to Cool 106.3. My work has always backed me in this 110%. So it's nice to have the backing of the radio station to get the word out on these things. Because thanks to them, thanks to the Lambton Mall, thanks to I think Tepperman's, the Brick, Leon's over the years, they've all donated furniture for the fake living room that's usually in the mall. So unfortunately this year, we're not in the mall. We're using Daryl Heater's already bought furniture in his actual living room, and
you couldn't get a big. I remember, was it last year? He had like one of those big curved televisions or something. That was like really cool. You guys were playing hockey on it.
It's funny you mentioned that. The first year we had a 65-inch like curved amazing television from Tepperman. That's what they. So you know what Daryl Heater did after that? He went and bought it. So that's still kind of what we're using. He loved it so much that he went out and bought that thing. So we're actually playing on the same TV that was donated to us to use in the first year. He has that down in his basement.
That's
pretty sure it was the exact one we used, if I'm not mistaken. So it's back to home again.
That's very cool, pun intended.
Indeed. It's going to be fun this year. We've got a lot of good games lined up. We always do the Sarnia Sting versus Team Canada NHL game. We always do a big mega turn Mario Party. We always play a big horror game, a scary game on the overnight all the way through to completion when it's like the wee hours of the morning. We're going to try and play some Among Us. Have you seen that game at all this year?
No, haven't heard of it at all, Max. I've been playing it every day for the last 2 weeks. I even started a Facebook group for that.
Dude, I've actually not played it. I've never.
It's so addicting.
But I know it's so hot right now, and we're going to try and get a game of that in. It's just hard for us to figure out because you can watch our stream and then cheat because you know what we're doing. So we're trying to figure out how to get a team of people.
It's kind of an on your honors system there. Like I've streamed it on my channel a few times, and it's just on your honors. But I think one of the best things I love about Among Us is that I can play it. You know, it's go this way or that way and click another button. Like Fortnite, I don't like CS:GO and all that. Yeah, it's not my bag.
No, because Among Us is all mind. Like it's not so much quick reactions and stuff. It's
we're teaching people how to lie.
Yeah.
There's still no replacement for a good game of Mario Kart, though.
I think we are. We always do Mario Kart. We always do.
That's my
Smash
favorite.
Brothers. There are mainstays that always will be part. It's 24 hours of time we have to fill with video games. So, but we've been doing it for 6 years now. We know what we're doing. It'll be a little bit different this year with the mall. So if you're watching this right now and you want to be part of this, we are going to be doing this starting at 2 p.m. this Friday. It's always Black Friday, 2 p.m. on Friday until 2 p.m. on Saturday. You can watch the stream and you can donate to St. Clair Child Youth on playingforcharity.com. I have no idea how we were able to get that domain. Like that is a amazing piece of internet.
I remember the first you got it. I'm like, I'm jealous. I didn't think of that.
We never let it go. We've had it for 6 years and we'll never let it go. Playingforcharity.com. You go there and it's the first thing you'll see. You'll see the donate button. You'll see the watch button. We are going to be doing that for 24 hours. And believe me, without the mall being part of it this time, anyone who can come on there and just chat with us and help keep us motivated and awake would be a huge help. And of course, financially, if you want to give, every $10 you give gets you a ballot to possibly win a Nintendo Switch Lite at the end of the broadcast, which will be 2 p.m. this Saturday.
That's awesome. And, again, supporting St. Clair Child and Youth Services, mental health, which is, yeah, that's just a whole conversation that it's ongoing. We need to keep it going, right?
Yeah, especially the year we've had. I know so many people who have gone into therapy for the first time, so many people struggling under the weight of what's been going on this year. So it's a very worthwhile cause. If you don't know much about, say, Clair Child and Youth, look up more on them. But the basics are that they supply mental health counseling and support to youth and in our community, and it's around the clock. So they're worth it for just that alone, but they do a lot more in the community as well. And you can find out more. Trust me, it's worth the money, even just to try and win the switch. But please,
right.
Yeah.
I like how you point out that they're available 24/7 too, Max, because I think there's been a misconception for a long time that those services aren't available 24, and they are. And the other great thing about St. Clair Child and Youth Services and their services is it's free because of people like you in the community who are supporting what they do. So congratulations to you guys on 6 years of playingforcharity.com. You know, you got my support. I'll put in a donation every year. And I always think it's great too that you guys engage with the audience in the chat. When somebody says something, you respond to them. And this year, you're really, really going to be relying on those chatters.
Yeah, because every year we're usually very busy. There's people in the mall trying to get our attention. We're going to be focused on that screen this time. We don't have any external stimuli. So please join us on the chat. Pitch in a few bucks. It's all over at playingforcharity.com, and it kicks off at 2 p.m. this Friday, Black Friday.
Right on. Max Major from Cool 106.3. Thanks for your time, Max. Get lots of sleep. Tell Rob Jenkins you're taking the rest of the week off so you can sleep.
I'm actually taking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. So I will not be on Cool 106.3 next week for a little bit. I am going to sleep. It'll be great.
All right. And take care of your lovely pregnant wife, and all the best there as well. Thanks, Max.
Thank you, Dave. Cheers.
Our friend Max Major from Cool 106.3. Always fun to talk with him. And, of course, as we said, Playing for Charity. Go to playingforcharity.com. You can start going there now to make your donations. You don't have to wait till this Friday. But they're going to be live for 24 hours supporting St. Clair Child and Youth. Couldn't agree more, with a great cause supporting the mental health services here in our community. And Max Majors, once again, kudos to him and his game players out there who are going to be going live. I'll be hosting it on my Twitch channel as well. We'll post all those links, post the show today so that you can be a part of playingforcharity.com. All right. Well, my next guest, I'm really excited to have her here because she's super, super busy. MP Marilyn Gladu. Thanks for being here, Marilyn.
Hi, Dave. How are you doing? Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect.
Always
it's
nice
great to be
connect
here.
with you.
And right after Max Major, who is just an amazing member of the community and does so much. I just love him.
You took the words out of my mouth. He's a really good example in our community. I appreciate your time because I know you had you had a vote you had to do, and so you're in Ottawa today.
No, I'm in Sarnia. This is all virtual now. There's a limit to how many people can be in the chamber, the actual chamber. So the rest of us are zooming like Mazdas.
Right. Good plug for Mazda. They what's that been like for you, adjusting to that whole virtual thing?
Well, it's really different. I mean, usually as a politician, the time spent interacting in Ottawa with the ministers and with my colleagues, that's where the real work gets done of, finding money for our constituency. And back here in Sarnia, usually I'm going to events all weekend. But of course, with COVID, everything's shut down and lots of town halls on Zoom and lots of activities that are virtual, but very different year.
Yeah, well, we've all had to adjust, and I think for the most part, we're all learning as we go through it. Or I don't say we go through it, we grow through it, hopefully, right? So, and of course, Premier Doug Ford, I've always said, doesn't matter what color the stripes are right now, everybody's really working hard and overtime to make the best decisions for all of us here in Ontario, right?
Well, and Sarnia-Lambton has done very well. I mean, we're still in the green, and that's a tribute to every person in the community doing what they can to distance and wash their hands, wear their masks, and keep their circle small.
Yeah. All right. Enough of the politics, Marilyn. Let's talk about you and your new book, which I have not been able to get my hands on yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. now available on Amazon. Tales of the Globetrot. And my first question in all of this is, how did you come up with the title? Because that's probably one of the toughest things of writing a book, isn't it?
Well, this one was easy because I actually got the title before I wrote the book.
Oh,
It was in the middle of COVID, and of course, Parliament had been suspended, and I had been, sent back to my home to look at my four walls. So everybody was doing jigsaw puzzles and that sort of thing, and that, got boring in no time. And a friend of mine said, "Well, you're always talking about writing a book. Why don't you write a book?" So I thought to myself, yeah, I should write a book. And I thought, well, what would I write about? I had a few different ideas, and I thought I should write about all the globetrotting I've done. And when I said that, I thought, oh, Tales of the Globetrot, perfect. And so
awesome.
I actually went and Googled up an image that looks similar to what the cover is, and started that before I started writing.
I like the foot in the middle of the globe there. Speaking of foot, you've really made a footprint in multiple careers. I mean, I obviously I know your story a bit, but tell everybody what did you do before you got into politics?
Well, I was a chemical engineer for 32 years, working globally for Dow Chemical, and then I was director of engineering and construction over at Suncor when they built that Genesis expansion, and then I was business development director for Worley Parsons, looking after 4 offices in North America, and doing contracts with Nova and ExxonMobil and Shell and the like. Obviously, I have varied interests, so I need to keep busy and try new things. I did a CD earlier in my life. I'm a musician, do the guitar, piano, sing, play saxophone badly. And then, I got into sports, did triathlons, was a spin cycle instructor, got my black belt in taekwondo. So, there's always something new. And this year I'm really proud to be releasing this book. I hope everybody enjoys it. It's a funny read. It's about all the bizarre things that happened when I was traveling around the globe as a single engineer.
Wow. And you left out one, though, dancing. You did Dancing with the Stars a few years ago. I think we did that together, actually.
Yes, like Max Major, I try to, give back to the community. So I've done dancing, I've done singing, I've even done painting. And I'm not a great painter, but for the medically fragile. So I'm up for anything new and new experiences. And I think that's part of what makes life great.
I have to tell you, I've had, I've done multiple interviews with you, but I think my favorite part is when I see you in person and we have conversations, the camera's off, so to speak. And I've always found that, I mean, when you're talking politics, you have to talk politics, but whenever I run into you, you're just a very genuine, sincere person. You don't come across as speaking like a politician, so to speak. You're obviously very genuine about all of this. How did you go from the industry that you were into, now I want to get into politics?
Well, that's a great question, David. Basically, when I was traveling globally for Dow built plants in some excellent places and some kind of sketchy places. And, when I was traveling to these places that were just awful, I was coming back to Canada thinking, we've got the best country in the world. And, the place is getting ruined by these politicians who either don't know how business works globally or don't have the skills to get things done. Really, we need to have somebody in there that knows what they're doing. And so I thought, well, I could do, the Canadian way and just whine about it. But I thought, no, I'm going to get involved. And I didn't even know how to get involved. And then Bob Bailey had called up to see if I wanted to be an advisor on his local riding board. And then Pat Davidson, who was our MP at the time, asked me to be on her board. And so over a period of about 10 years, I learned about politics in Canada, because up to that point, I mean, I voted by whoever had the most signs. I was not, a political wonk or anything. Yeah. And so, gradually I got to see that in Sarnia at that time, we had huge unemployment. We had a bunch of issues. And I thought we need somebody in there that can really create jobs. So when Pat decided to retire, I put my name forward, and here I am, second round.
And congratulations, for you've done a lot of amazing things representing us here. Talk about more about the book. How much of this book is politics, and how much of this is everything else?
Well, most of it is not politics because the book starts when I was 21 and I graduated from university and went on my first airplane ride to Bermuda. So there's a great story about that. And then, of course, working for Dow and starting to travel globally, going to Europe for the first time.
Wow.
And so you sort of see me through those eyes, but there was bizarre things that happened everywhere I went. And I tried to capture those. And then on through, the travels I had after I got married, when I had children, some of the trips with my siblings, and then from the time I got elected, there's a few things that are included there, but a little bit from the leadership race. I did get to go to Nunavut as part of the
Oh,
leadership race this year, so there's a chapter on what happened in Nunavut. So that's a good one.
now when putting this together, I always find it, doing when I do video editing, for example, I really have a hard time chopping it down to a certain length. Was that a challenge for you in this?
Well, when I started writing it, I had this idea originally that I was going to write it and I was going to start in Canada and then do a trip in the South American continent and then talk about a trip in Asia and then go back to Europe and then go around and around and around so that it would be sort of like 6 trips around the world by the time you finish reading the book. The editors didn't like that. They said, no, we want the chronology of the whole thing from the time you started to, tell us a little bit more about why you were doing this in the first place. And then a husband pops up. What happened there? And then there's kids. Like you're missing all the in betweens. So changed that up, and then I had a lot more destinations that I could have put in the book, but
Right.
I wanted the ones that really stood out. There were some trips where I could tell people about being in that spot and it was beautiful and, it was fun. But it was nothing, out of the ordinary that, the average person wouldn't experience, where some of the other things that happened, I think, are really unusual, partly because I'm a woman traveling alone in
Yep.
dangerous places, partly because, I think being tall like I am, I do attract some attention. And I'm very approachable, I've been told. So that also
I would agree with
inspires
that.
people to approach you that maybe are a little bit with malfeasance in mind.
Right, for sure. Um, so we look forward to the uniqueness of your travels, I guess is a way to put it. How much of a personal side are we going to learn about Marilyn Gladu?
Well, I think every person that writes a book writes it with their voice,
Mm.
and people that have read the book are saying, what, knowing me makes them even laugh harder when they see
Right.
the various things that happen because they just know how I am. But people that don't know me, I think, will get a sense for how I think because it's written in my voice and in the voice that I would have written in before I got into politics. So that said, I'm sure there will be chapters that somebody will take offense to, somebody will have a problem with.
Right.
I will get emails. There will be that. I you can't say anything in this business without having somebody not like it. So I'm sure that will happen. But really, it's written. Not in a political voice, but in Marilyn McInerney was my maiden name. I was
Oh, okay.
young Irish, so that
There you go. I never knew that one. So there you go.
Marilyn McInerney.
Oh, do you sing Irish tunes?
I do. Danny boy, indeed.
Wonderful. Well, we'll have to save that for another show. Maybe we'll have a karaoke show. Maybe you can come on there and sing as well.
Anytime. I'm in.
Because I remember it was last year, you sang at Sarnia Sings and made your appearance there. How does, do you have to get any, and honestly, I don't know the answer to this, being in your position, do you have to get any special permissions from your party or anyone to be able to write a book?
No, there are no requirements about it. I know when I was writing the book and I knew it was going to be released, I wanted to let the party know. First of all, because Senator Patterson, that hosted us in Nunavut, needed to know what I was going to talk about, and just wanted to make sure that the party knew that it was out there, so that they could be prepared. I mean, really, they don't have anything to do with it, so they can always just say, "Well, that's her personal book."
Right, gotcha. So it's available on Amazon now. Is this paperback? Is it hardcover, Kindle? What
You can get
copies can we get?
paperback, you can get hardcover, you can get ebook, and you can get it the soft copy, the paperback, and the hardcover at Amazon or at Frisian Press bookstore,
Okay.
or here locally at the Bookkeeper. And
Oh, wow,
I just
wonderful.
got a call today from Coles at the mall wants to maybe take it on consignment. So you'll be able to get it next week. I'm expecting my shipment to be delivered by Friday, and it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I'll put my call into the Bookkeeper and support local there, and then can I bring it down to your office and you put a scratch in the
Absolutely.
hardcover
I'm
for
going to
me?
be signing it, and I'm organizing a book signing at Lambton Mall on the 12th of December. I will
Okay.
be there with my mask, with my gloves, with my pen. And if you don't have a book, you can buy a book. And if you want me to sign the book that you did buy, then I'm happy to do that there.
Well, I'll take you up on that for sure. Marilyn, thank you so much. I always like to leave the door open at the end of it all. Is there any final words or anything you want to share before I let you go?
Just that, publishing a book is a very interesting process. I knew nothing about it, and so I learned a lot through the process about how content is edited, formatted, the graphics, the approval process, the distribution process, the pricing process. So it's just been a great experience learning this, and I encourage anybody that has a book in their heart to write.
I'll be talking to you. I have a title, but I don't know anything else about it.
All right, I can help. I'm with the government.
Right on. Well, thank you so much, Marilyn, and thanks for everything that you do in our community as well. And a very sincere congratulations to you on your new book. We'll look forward to reading it.
Thanks, and thanks for having me.
I know. MP Marilyn Gladu, I really enjoy talking to her. She's always got a smile on her face and always something positive to say. And the positive thing here today is her new book, Tales of the Globetrot by Marilyn Gladu. Now available on Amazon, but I didn't realize it's also going to be available here at the Bookkeeper here in Sarnia. That's where I'll be going to get my copy. And December the 12th, we'll be following up with Marilyn as she's going to be doing a book signing in the Lambton Mall. Well, thank you to both of my guests, of course, again, Marilyn Gladu and my friend Max Major, playingforcharity.com. Don't forget about them. And I want to say thank you, as always, to my supporters here on Signs SWO, Active Ears Hearing Centers, Hughes Intelligence Canada, Joe's Discount Tire, and my friends at Oswald's. Visit them online for their menu at oswalds.com, and Philly Cheese Jakes at phillycheesejakes.com. And I always give a special mention to my son, Jason, at J-Man's Affordable iPhone Repair. And of course, I always like to say thanks to all of you. That's all the time I got for you this week, everybody. Have a great week and an even better weekend. And we'll see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.